Pick a point on a map in southern Alberta. Any point. We won't be far away. We're following a vision, not a path. We're innovating, growing, improving, to serve our members better, to become stronger. Every day, more than 100,000 members rely on us to provide safe, secure transactions. They look to us for financial planning and guidance. They trust us to make their money work smarter. They expect us to make their communities stronger. We take that seriously. We have a mission to make money make a difference, and a vision to be Alberta's neighborhood credit union. We have a strong foundation of core values that drive everything we do. We set out every day to think big, act local, take charge, and make it easy. These values guide us. They're a reflection of who we are. They make us proud. Here's how we live them. We think big by embracing change, by taking a can-do approach to welcoming change that aligns with our vision. Encouraging ideas by asking lots of questions, encouraging input from others, and bringing forward informed, constructive ideas about new ways of doing things. Experimenting by readily trying new things, embracing the successes and the failures that help us learn and grow. We take charge by being accountable, by taking ownership of situations and doing what we say we will. Trusting by letting go of control, to trust our colleagues to do the right thing. Results focused by creating win-win solutions that deliver results. We make it easy by simplifying, by taking the time to minimize complexity and bust down silos. Thinking of users' needs first, by applying that perspective to everything we do, always ensuring that things are straightforward and helpful. Sharing knowledge, by making sure that information is shared in a timely fashion to help others get their work done. We act local, by being collaborative, by working cooperatively to recognize and respect each other's needs. Insightful and passionate, by striving to make a difference, by knowing what's going on in our communities and in our business. Understanding, by taking the time to recognize the issues, perspectives, and what's important to others when taking action. We have the courage to find the better way. That's the Connect First Credit Union difference.
Good evening. I would like to welcome Branch Manager Heather McLean-LaPlante to the stage to lead us in singing our national anthem to start the program for this evening.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you very much, Heather. Thank you very much, Heather. The meeting is now called to order. Good evening, members and guests. My name is Andrew Eberl, and I'm the chairman of Connect First Credit Union's Board of Directors, and I would like to welcome you to our annual general meeting. I would like to welcome our special guests and credit union system representatives. A quorum for our annual meeting consists of 100 registered members. Registration shows that we have 250 members and 37 guests in attendance. So having received a quorum, we are good to proceed. To begin this evening, we would like to share a brief video highlighting Connect First Credit Union's accomplishments in 2017. Nothing like excerpts from our Make Money, Make a Difference video to really get to the heart of the situation. So thank you for putting that video together. The rules of order are included in the member information package. There will be a question and answer period later in the meeting. Questions are welcomed from the floor and via our social media sites. To address the chair, you must be a member. You must use one of the mics that will be in the room. If you need to use a mic, just raise your hand, and we have people with a roving mic will come to you. Clearly state your name and your branch name. Please restrict questions posed during the meeting to the business affairs of Connect First. Due to the privacy considerations, we aren't able to answer questions about your personal financial affairs. And for anyone on Twitter tonight, feel free to use our hashtag CFCUAGM when commenting about the AGM. Respecting the rules of order in your package, those will be considered carried by unanimous consent unless there is any objection to that. Is there any objection? There being no objection, the rules are therefore carried by unanimous consent. Inside your member information package, you'll find the AGM agenda. Respecting the proposed agenda, that agenda will be considered carried by unanimous consent unless there is any objection to that. Is there any objection? There being no objection, the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. I would like to now take the opportunity to introduce to you your board of directors. Stella Thompson, our vice chair and governance chair. Carrie Tobert, our board secretary and audit chair. Bob Petrick. Bob Shearer. Courtney Moe. Doug Van Spronsen. Gail McLeod. Oh, Gail is not here. John Lindsay. Kevin Van Conant. Michelle Canton, Chair of Human Resources. Ron Gibson. And Sarah Arthurs, Chair of Nominations. Ladies and gentlemen, your board of directors. I'd like to welcome Pat Knoll as our parliamentarian this evening. Pat is an independent, professional, registered parliamentarian retained by Connect First for this meeting. Also on stage with us is Paul Kelly, our Chief Executive Officer. And it's really great to see the numerous members of the cooperative system, including key suppliers, community and strategic partners. Thank you for attending tonight. The March 15th, 2017 AGM minutes are located in your member information package. Are there any corrections to the minutes? There being no corrections, the minutes are accordingly adopted by unanimous consent unless there is any objection. There being no objection, the minutes are adopted. I would now like to briefly draw attention to the information you received when you registered tonight. In your member package, you will have received a copy of our 2017 Management's Discussion and Analysis, which includes our 2017 financial results and management's discussion and analysis of the same. Your package also includes a copy of the report from our auditors, KPMG, reports from our Audit and Finance and Risk Committees, as well as the Board Governance Report is included. At this point in time, on behalf of the Board of Directors, thank you for being here tonight. I know some of you have traveled a distance to be here, so thank you for joining us. Tonight, I have the opportunity to tell you what the board focused on in 2017. Our board is committed to governance excellence, and we work hard to evolve our board practices using 4 key governing principles. Those principles are board relevancy, board renewal, board effectiveness, and board accountability. Some ways we supported these principles are: we created an individual board member accountability policy and identified our board mandate and board role profiles. We introduced practices intended to support board effectiveness. For example, we implemented our formalized board mentorship program, created individual development plans, and continually encouraged director training to develop our skills and knowledge. I am pleased to report that 7 of our directors received their accredited Credit Union Director designation from the Credit Union Executive Society by attending the Governance Leadership Institute. We also held discussions regarding board relevance that culminated in the creation of our board diversity policy. This is our commitment that the board must represent the diversity of our members and communities. Diversity promotes inclusion of different perspectives and ideas, mitigates against groupthink, and ensures our credit union has the opportunity to benefit from all available talent. Our diversity goals seek to ensure we have relevant representation in terms of gender, age, ethnicity, and regions. Finally, from a board renewal perspective, we oversaw our successful 2017 director elections, onboarded new directors, and planned effectively for governance succession. You will hear shortly from our nominations chair regarding our 2018 director recruitment and election results. Our oversight of the credit union extended to being actively involved in the decision on where to move the Calgary Administration Centre, recognizing the significant strategic and cultural impacts of the move. Our other key consideration was ensuring our Trans-Canada branch members will be well serviced in a temporary location on site until a beautiful new permanent branch can be built. In collaboration with management, we paused at the midpoint of our 2016 to 2018 strategic plan to evaluate our progress and see if our approach was still a good fit with changes in our industry. Through this review, it was clear that the core of our strategy was sound, but changes in the business were required to address the very dynamic financial services landscape. So we are clear in our path and in our goals. We know the world can and will change, and our new strategic direction lets us be ready for that. And Paul will speak more about this shortly. 4 years ago, the boards of First Calgary and Chinook credit unions realized that because of the ever-changing financial landscape, the increasing competition, the low interest rate environment, the importance of technology, and the ever-increasing regulatory burden, that a merger between the two credit unions made a lot of sense. The real question was, how do we gain scale, yet maintain the local relevance to our members that has been our foundation over the years? We found the answer in our unique operating model that created Connect First Credit Union, allowing First Calgary Financial and Chinook Financial to maintain their identities and continue to serve their members with excellence. 4 years later, we are very proud and happy to say that our model is working very well, that we are a strong credit union with strong performance, our membership is growing, and we are able to serve the needs of that diverse membership. It is in this context that Legacy Savings and Credit Union became interested in Connect First's unique operating model and joined the Connect First family on November 1st. It was at that time that John Lindsay, Legacy Board Chair, was appointed to our board. At this time, I would like to take the opportunity to welcome the members of Legacy Financial to our family. As you may be aware, we were approached by Mountain View Credit Union with an interest to amalgamate with Connect First's regionally focused operating model. You'll hear more about this from Paul shortly, but we believe the member benefits are strong and tangible. Our board looks forward to reviewing the business case and due diligence late in April, and we will keep you posted on our decision. At this time, I would like to acknowledge from Mountain View Credit Union, Bob Marshall, CEO, and board members Wendy Metzger, Richard Anderson, John Richter, and Herman Epp. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our success lies in our ability to effectively execute our strategy and grow the company to deliver value for our 105,000 members across southern Alberta. Our credit union is strong and is charting a purposeful course to take advantage of future opportunities. We will continue to work hard on your behalf so that you, as our member owners, continue to benefit and continue to receive the same personal service that you are accustomed to. I want to take this opportunity to thank my board colleagues for their unwavering commitment to our mission of making money make a difference, and using this as a reference point for decisions we make around the board table. I also want to thank Paul and his executive team, Catherine, Jackie, Keith, Sandy, Scott, and Shelley, for bringing us to where we are today. To their credit, we have been recognized as one of Canada's best managed companies since 1999. I would like to thank all of the employees for their continued commitment to Connect First's values of think big, take charge, act local, and make it easy. The board, management, employees can all take credit for being named last year as Alberta's Credit Union of the Year. Finally, and most importantly, thank you to you, our members. Your best interests are at the heart of everything that we do, and we do not take the trust that you place in us lightly. Thank you. At this time, I would like to ask Sarah Arthurs to bring the Director Recruitment and Election Results report.
This could be a little tricky. Good evening. My name is Sarah Arthurs, and it's been my pleasure to chair the Nominations Committee over the last year. It has been very exciting to be part of the democratic process here at our credit union. The fact that we are a financial entity that is owned and governed by our members is what makes us unique and positions us to make significant contributions to our community, which we do. Thank you to all of you for taking part in this process, both by voting and joining us here at this AGM, a celebration of the local ownership and democratic governance of Connect First Credit Union, where you guys are going to have this memorized by the time we get done, where we make money make a difference. The Nominations Committee is comprised of four board members whose terms do not expire in the current election year. The member of this year's committee were myself, Ron Gibson, Michelle Canton, and Bob Scheer. We were supported in our work by our colleagues on the management team, Jackie Barber and Allison Archambault. The purpose of the Nominations Committee is to recruit a qualified cross-section of members based on the specific abilities and competencies determined by the board to enable effective governance of the current and future direction of Connect First Credit Union, while providing oversight to the democratic process relating to our director elections. This year, there were 5 available spaces on our board of directors due to director terms coming up for renewal. As of our nominations deadline, we received 15 applications to fill the available spaces on our board. Due diligence was conducted to ensure candidates met the eligibility criteria according to the Alberta Credit Union Act and Connect First Credit Union's bylaws. Candidates that did not meet the eligibility criteria were advised of their ineligibility. The Nominations Committee followed a structured interview process with all the board candidates that met the requirements to learn more about them, gather consistent information, and understand how candidates met or did not meet the published recruitment skills and experience. We also used a rigorous scoring and assessment process to maintain objectivity and ensure we recommended through endorsement qualified candidates to the membership. Our endorsement principles were used to identify nominees whose values, interests, experience, and expertise would further strengthen the board. The candidates who best met the skills, expertise, and/or diversity required were labeled endorsed in all communications materials that were used by the Nominations Committee. We partnered with Avenue 4, a leading provider of voting software, to offer a secure and simple way for our members to vote. From January 19th through March 6th, 2018, members were able to vote online. We were very pleased with the voter turnout. 1,701 votes were cast. And now, the moment that we've been waiting for. Elected to Connect First Credit Union's Board of Directors are Andrew Eberl, Baz Wheeler, Carrie Tobert, Cindy Scruqua, and Doug Van Spronsen. As part of our online voting, members were able to choose a charitable organization to receive a donation as a result of their cast ballot. I'm pleased to announce 4-H Alberta will receive a $603 donation, and Accessible Housing will receive a $633 donation as a result of our director elections. If you have feedback about the election process or are interested in how the governance of your credit union happens, myself and the other members of the Nominations Committee, or indeed any of the other directors, are available to chat after our official business is complete. Thank you.
At this time, I would ask Stella Thompson, our Vice Chair and Chair of our Governance Committee, to bring a report recognizing the retiring directors.
Well, this is a bit sadder. It's our opportunity to say farewell with our heartfelt thanks to 2 retiring board members. We shall miss them both. Kevin Van Kunit joined the board of directors in March 2011. After 2 decades of service to Key Savings and Credit Union, during his tenure, he has served as chair and vice chair of the audit committee and chair of nominations. Kevin has been dedicated to making our credit union as best as it can be. You could always count on Kevin to come to meetings well prepared and to ask the tough and necessary questions. And in between, he would help keep us up to date by sending relevant articles and the occasional very suitable cartoon. Please join me in recognizing Kevin's service to the Alberta Credit Union system and his valued contribution to Connect First Credit Union. Our next retiree is John Lindsay. John Lindsay joined the board through the amalgamation of Legacy Credit Union in November of just this past year, so a very brief stint. In this short time, he's made a big impression through his thoughtful conversations and passion for the credit union system. Prior to joining the Connect First board, John served on Legacy Savings Board for 9 years, including 6 years as chair. Please join me in recognizing John's service to the Alberta Credit Union system and to his contributions to Connect First Credit Union.
And now I would like to invite Paul Kelly to the stage to bring the CEO report.
Thank you, Andrew. I think I have to apologize at the outset. I have a persistent cough that simply won't go away. So if I appear to be choking up over the 2017 results, it's only half true. So I got a bit of water here and hopefully we'll get through it. So good evening and welcome member guests, partners, and members of Connect First Credit Union. For more than 80 years, Connect First Credit Union has played an important role in strengthening communities across southern Alberta. Over the past 9 years, I've had the privilege to be the credit union CEO. In fact, today is my 23rd AGM. And I've witnessed a lot of change and significant accomplishments over those years. In fact, in 1996, when I first presented the financials, we had an overhead projector on stage right, and one of my team would manually load the transparencies one after another, loan growth, deposit growth, etc. But at the time, it was somewhat cutting edge as they were all in color. So I'm sure there's some in the audience have no idea what I'm talking about. Connect First Credit Union is an amazing and a very durable organization. First, for lasting for more than 80 years. Our unique multi-brand operating model has really begun to resonate over the past year, being closer to the members we serve in each of our communities. 2018 will be a transformative year for your credit union, as we respond and build on feedback about how you, our members, want to do your banking. And yes, I am now legally allowed to use the word banking. We believe banking is about making money make a difference. It's about positively impacting the lives of our members, our employees, and our communities. As a credit union and a financial cooperative, we're owned, operated, and governed by and for our members. As members ourselves, our employees see you, our owners, as a person, not a number. We actively support our employees in their career success, in their growth, in their potential. We're also committed to making a genuine and lasting contribution to the financial success of all of our communities. Because when our members and our communities succeed, we all succeed. I'd like to chat a bit about the environment we're operating in. To say the least, it's very dynamic. Positive growth has returned to Alberta after 2 years of economic contraction. Year-over-year growth in Alberta is expected to lead all provinces, with real GDP growth of over 4%. However, that's coming off a very low base. The potential for increasing interest rates in 2018, while promising somewhat improved financial margin, represents higher borrowing costs for our retail and our business members. The ambiguity over the future of NAFTA, uncertainty over future oil and gas prices, suggests we will continue to face a challenging economic environment over the next few years. Credit unions across Canada are operating in an environment of much more scrutiny and regulatory burden. Here's a sample of compliance acronyms that didn't exist when I started. ICAP, FinTrack, FATCA, B20, CASL, IFRS 9. Each of these require credit unions to invest significant time and resources in compliance. Now, while these regulations reduce risk, they often restrict revenue growth and increase expenses. And in my view, they threaten the viability of small credit unions. Southern Alberta's competitive landscape includes all the traditional competitors, the Toronto-based banks, the Alberta government through ATB, the federal government through Farm Credit, and a number of international players. While these are all formidable and world-class institutions, I see our future competition coming from Amazon or Google or Facebook or Apple. That's why our focus and investment in mobile technology for our members is so important. And the credit union landscape in Canada has changed dramatically, and nowhere more so than in Alberta. Since I joined First Calgary in 1995, the number of Alberta credit unions has reduced from 65 to soon to be 18, all that through mergers. And a similar trend is playing out across the country. There are many drivers behind this trend, and I'll speak to them in a few minutes when I highlight our discussions with Mountain View Credit Union. The 2014 merger of Chinook and First Calgary created Connect First Credit Union. Your board then endorsed Vision 2025 to become Alberta's neighborhood credit union. We believe our unique operating model suits communities and credit unions throughout our province. And Mountain View's interest in our model, I believe, validates this. As Andrew mentioned, we have moved away from a traditional 3 or 5 year static strategic plan and moved to a more dynamic strategic direction. While our mission, our vision, and our values remain our core, we must remain flexible and responsive to this ever-changing environment. And most importantly, to changes in member preferences, how, when, and where you want to do your banking. I'd now like to do a very brief review of 2017 and then chat about our discussions with Mountain View. A number of these highlights were presented in the video. So in 2017, we launched new websites for Chinook Financial and First Calgary Financial, making it easier for members to get information about their credit union, and also making it easier for non-members to become members. We welcomed 4,500 members in 2 locations through our amalgamation with Legacy Savings and Credit Union. We opened our new location in Medicine Hat, which has been very successful right from the outset. And we developed new customer relationship management software to better understand the products and services that you, our members, want. We expanded our member care center to serve Chinook and Legacy members. We launched Android Mobile Pay to make it convenient for our members to pay at a merchant terminal using their phone. And Apple Pay is coming this year. And finally, we enhanced our online banking platform for our business members. Your credit union is strong, growing, and profitable. We saw positive growth in loans and deposits, and even higher growth in member equity. We now manage more than $9 billion in financial assets for our members, and that's a record. And in 2017, we saw a sharp rebound in profit, almost a 13% increase, which allowed us to continue to pay dividends to our member owners. This amount now exceeds $80 million over the past decade. And results in our first quarter of 2018 remain positive. We saw solid growth in loans, deposits, and equity, and a 14% increase in profit compared to first quarter 2017. Now, it's always gratifying to be recognized by independent external organizations for our operational results, best management practices, and how we treat and value our employees. We were named Alberta Credit Union of the Year. We are one of Canada's best managed companies, a Platinum Club member, and we're also recognized as a top employer in Alberta. So, about a month ago, we announced together with Mountain View Credit Union plans to pursue a business case to amalgamate, subject to board approval, regulatory approval, and positive votes from both credit union memberships. Now, I mentioned earlier the dramatic pace of consolidation in the Alberta credit union system. The drivers for our two credit unions relate to the benefits we see for our members, our employees, and the communities we serve. I'd now like to play a brief video.
Our boards of directors have determined a potential opportunity to provide greater value for our members by amalgamating rather than remaining independent. The benefits to our members include more competitive products and services, enhanced technology offerings, and more locations to do their business across South and Central Alberta.
We're a good fit. We share a focus on local member service, employee engagement, cooperative values, community participation, and long-term sustainability.
Our credit unions share a rich history of strengthening rural Alberta communities. We believe together we can deliver more value and benefits for our members and our employees.
The timing is right to explore how we can become even better for Mountain View members and our employees by joining Connect First Credit Union's innovative operating model.
I'm actually excited about the opportunities that are going to be opening up for us with our membership and for personally growth into new markets.
I'm most excited about the ability to service our members across Alberta now at this point.
For Mountain View Credit Union, it's going to be so great for their members to become part of our family as well too. They can pick up that phone 6 days a week and they can give us a call and we can be there for them as well too.
Overall, it's a win-win for everybody, and I'm just looking forward to see what the future has in store for our credit union.
But yeah, it's an exciting opportunity, we believe, for both credit unions. A number of partnership principles have been agreed to by both boards, and I'd like to highlight 3 of those. First one, and probably the most fundamental, a merger of our 2 credit unions must create tangible value and benefits for the members of both credit unions. And the strategic intent of our merger is to enhance service delivery to our members. Therefore, it is our intent to retain all existing service outlets. And third, there will be no loss of employment due to the merger, although some roles may change. So regular updates on our merger discussions will be provided via our dedicated amalgamation website, betterforourmembers.com. If both boards approve the business case, Connect First members will vote on the proposal at a special meeting on June 6th, right here at TELUS Spark. So in closing, I would like to single out the 600 employees that serve you, our members, and live out our values every day. Think big, take charge, act local, and make it easy. Our credit union is led by an executive team here in front who challenge status quo, think member first, and were instrumental in making Connect First being named Alberta Credit Union of the Year for the first time. I would also like to thank our board, who thoughtfully guide and govern your credit union, and particularly our chair, Andrew Eberl, who continues to be an invaluable source of advice and counsel for me. And lastly, and most importantly, I would like to thank the more than 100,000 members for the trust you place in us every day to help make your financial goals and dreams a reality. Thank you.
And now we are pleased to share with you our community highlights video.
How would I describe our credit union?
Helpful.
Connected.
Welcoming.
Involved.
Amazing.
Community.
At Connect First Credit Union, we're empowering Southern Albertans to build strong futures and resilient communities. Whether it's through affordable housing solutions, opportunities for skills training, providing financial education, or bringing together neighbors to build a sense of community pride and revitalization. We're going beyond the dollars by rolling up our sleeves and really getting involved. Because that's the credit union difference. Let's take a look at how we made money make a difference in our communities in 2017.
The credit union has been coming and participating with us for many years. We love their volunteers and their eagerness to work and their big bright red t-shirts. It's always a thrill to have them help us out and just never say no and dig right in with both feet.
Without going through these programs by making changes, my transition or my settling in here in Canada would have been such a huge challenge.
Before I came to Canada, I don't learn any letter for English. I will be in the story here now.
It was just such a relief knowing that I just had hope.
It's just allowing the students to find out that there are other people that care about this part of their life and that it's important to the whole community and not just their families or the teachers.
I think it's really good that I've been given all of these opportunities so that I can just think about what my life is going to look like after high school.
Chinook Financial, supporting 4-H is supporting your youth, and that's your future. You're teaching kids how important it is to work not just for yourself but together to develop a future.
It's such a safe community to grow in. I think that it encourages you to step out of your comfort zone to a certain extent and gain those leadership skills. For me, that's been one of the biggest things, is a support network, because every youth needs that.
Just seeing how much we've been able to do with our community, we're out there and we actually care and we're showing up.
I was previously with a different financial institution, and they were numbers. Here, they're people. They are part of the community. We are the community.
It's warm, it's welcoming, it's part of the community.
It's so great to know I have that resource in the community and I can go to them and that they'll be there for me.
It's so interesting to have our staff volunteer and you get to see the light bulb go off. And sometimes it takes somebody actually going to the place and seeing that youth in need or seeing that senior that needs some help. Those kind of things are just the gems that get all of our staff rallied around it and inspires them to help.
Giving is in our DNA.
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 On behalf of everyone at Connect First Credit Union, thank you to our members and employees for being part of the credit union difference.
So this is the time that's been set aside for answering your questions. The question and answer period will abide by the rules that are set out in the Rules of Order governing the AGM, found in your member information package. In some cases, I may ask our parliamentarian to address questions that fall outside of what we can respond to here. Paul and I are happy to answer any questions you have. But for privacy reasons, we ask that you save any questions about your personal affairs. The purpose of the question and answer session is to respond to questions about Connect First Credit Union's business practices, results, and strategic direction. So if you give Paul and I just a moment, we're going to move over here.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be sitting or standing. I'll stand. What I'd like to do while we're looking for questions is introduce the executive leadership team that I mentioned earlier, and they will stand and hopefully applaud at the end. Keith Richard, who's our Chief Risk Officer. They do deserve separate applause. Catherine Boyden, who's our Senior Vice President, Information Technology. Scott Haddon, who's the President of Chinook Financial. Sandy Kay, who's Senior Vice President, Finance and Administration. Jackie Barber, who is Senior Vice President, Shared Services. And unable to be with us tonight is Shelley Vandenberg, who's the President of First Calgary Financial. Thanks, everybody.
So at this time, if you have a question that you would like to ask, just stand, and then one of our young leaders with the mics, they will come to you with a mic so that all can hear the question.
Maybe I'll do a bit of an icebreaker. A question I have had from a number of members is what's happening with our administration office on 16th Avenue. Believe it or not, we've been in that office since the 1980s. It's a building that we've owned. Over several years, we've had discussions with Calgary Co-op about a potential purchase of that building. It culminated in 2017 with an actual sale to Calgary Co-op, so they have now purchased the building and the land, and we are now relocating to a new home for our administration office. One of the drivers was that we are, because of our size and the fact that we've grown our credit union, we're now in very different locations. We're in 3 or 4 different locations for our administration group. So we felt it was really important to move to one location. So we have selected a location. We're just finalizing our lease now. It's 2850 Sunridge Boulevard, which is in the northeast, very close to where our current office is. We're pretty excited about it. We've got a bit of a blank canvas in terms of setting up a work environment that's going to be collaborative and open. And again, I think it'll be a real benefit to you, the members, as we work together to serve you better.
So did we get any questions on social media? No questions on social media. So it looks like we're going to get off easy, Paul. I think everybody checked the forecast before they came in and realized they want to get home before it starts snowing again. Well, seeing no questions, then I guess I will conclude the meeting. So I hope everyone enjoyed the Member Perks Alley at the beginning of the AGM. I'd like to thank all the employees and partners that came out to show members what's available to them. So thank you. Many of you took in all the displays and completed and submitted the Member Experience Passport, and therefore were eligible for our Gifts That Grow prize draw. So I have 10 names here of those who won the Gift That Grow. So following the AGM, if you can go back to the Member Perks Alley, and you can see that Trish and Kauai are waving their arms back there, so see them at the end, and you can claim your prize. So the 10 names are Ruth Lozen, Michelle White, or Michael White, Calvin F., Aline Dupuis, William Fallon, Joanne Welishuk, Jennifer Duncan, Kayla Gates, Josh Schro, and Michelle Remazoff, or Michael Remazoff. I think the most difficult task tonight has just been reading off the list of names. That's always difficult. So at this point in time, it's time to adjourn. So if there's no other business concerning the agenda as approved, we are now at the conclusion of our annual general meeting. Is there any other business related to the approved agenda? There being none, I declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you again so much for attending tonight. Have a safe journey home. Good night.